Hello students. Is anyone is there? Is anyone is there? Can you hear me? Is anyone is there? Can you hear me? Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the part 6b of the chapter Human Reproduction. Already we have discussed the 6a portion of this chapter. This portion contains the fertilization, how fertilization takes place in a female's body, and how sex is determined for newborn baby. So today we are going to discuss about the embryonic development. After the fertilization, how embryo become developed in a female body and it transform to a healthy grown baby. Is anyone is there? Okay. So the today's topic is embryonic development. Today's topic is embryonic development. Okay. The journey from the zygote to adulthood. The journey from the zygote to adult or newborn baby. Today's topic is embryonic development. So before starting the topic, we should know about the definition of the embryonic development, or the actually what happens during this embryonic development, how the embryo become developed in our body. So before know all these things, we should know about the embryo. What is the actual meaning of the embryo? Is anyone is there? If anyone is there, just say yes ma'am. Okay. So before starting the topic, we should know about the definition of the embryo. Okay, Seema. Before starting the topic, and Seema, why are you so irregular? In yesterday's class, you were absent in yesterday. Why are you so irregular, Seema? I am telling you repeatedly, all of you, this chapter is very important for your board exam and benchmark exam also. Why are you missing all this live class? Don't be sorry, just say a reason. Why are you absent? Don't do this. This is important for your exam. I am telling you repeatedly, this chapter is very important for all of you. Okay. So before starting the topic, we should know about the definition of the embryo. What is the meaning of the embryo? Embryo means the mass of cell. Actually, very good, Seema. Continue it. Embryo means the mass of cell. What does it mean? After the fertilization, after the ovum become fertilized by the sperm, then it forms a zygote. Then zygote transform to the embryo through the mitotic division. Then the zygote transform to the embryo through the mitotic division. Already I have said it. What is the meaning of the mitotic division and what is the meaning of the meiotic division? Through the mitotic division, the cell number become increased, but the chromosome number becomes same, and the meiotic division, the cell number become no change, but the chromosome number become half. So this is the basic difference between the mitosis and meiosis. Okay, so the development of embryo from fertilized ovum involves the following events. So there are some events which takes place for the development of the embryo. Okay, and this embryo become developed from the fertilized ovum, and that means the zygote, because when the mature ovum fertilized by the sperm, then it form a zygote. Then zygote is called the diploid cell because it contains the 2n number of chromosome. Why this is 2n? Because 23 number of chromosome comes from the mother body, actually the ovum body, and 23 number of chromosome comes from the father body through the sperm. Okay, and that it mix together, conjugate together and forms a zygote, and it contains the diploid number of chromosome. The chromosome number is 46. So there are some events. The first event is the mitotic division starts as the zygote moves through the oviduct to uterus. The mitotic division, already I am said it, the mitotic division starts as the zygote moves through the oviduct to uterus, forming 2, 4, 8, 16 number of daughter cells called the blastomere. This is called the cleavage. Then what does it mean? What is the meaning of all these things? Actually the mitotic division takes place after the formation of the zygote. But when this zygote is formed after the fertilized of the mature ovum through the sperm, then it forms a zygote. And this fertilization process takes place in the fallopian tube. Already we know that, because in yesterday's class already I have discussed all these things. This fertilization process takes place in the fallopian tube, and this fallopian tube present in the female body. So remember one thing, all these fertilization, embryonic development, all these things takes place into the female body, not the male's body. In the male's body, all these events are absent. Okay, so the mitotic division starts at the zygote moves through the oviduct to uterus. So after the formation of the zygote, it moves through from the oviduct to uterus, because already we know that this uterus is the main center for the nurturing of the newborn baby, the main center for the growth of the embryo and the development of the embryo. And after the entering into the uterus, then it transforms to the 2 number, 4 number, 8 number and 16 number daughter cells. What does it mean, this number? It means after the zygote formation, it goes to the mitotic division, and the mitotic division, suppose if we let it assume the zygote number, the zygote cell number is 1. Okay, then after the mitotic division it transforms to the 2. Okay, because the cell number become double na, in the mitotic division the cell number become double, then 2 into 2 equals to 4, 4 into 2 equals to 8, the double of 8 is 16, the double of 4 is 8. So through the mitotic division the cell number become double, and the daughter cell means the zygote cell. Okay, so this is called the blastomere, and all these events are called the cleavage. Actually the cleavage, what does it mean, the cleavage? What does it mean, the cleavage? Cleavage means the breakdown. Cleavage means the breakdown. Okay, so when the zygote transform into the blastomere, this journey is called the cleavage. The zygote to blastomere journey is called the cleavage, and the mitotic division helps to promote this journey, because the zygote to blastomere formed through the mitotic division, and this blastomere contains the 16 number of cell. The blastomere contains the 16 number of cells. Suppose the zygote contains 1 number of cell. Okay, so after the mitotic division it transforms to the 2, then 4, then 8, then 16. So the blastomere contains the 16 cell. So that's called the cleavage. This pathway is called the cleavage. So this is the definition of the cleavage. Actually what is the definition of the cleavage? The cleavage is the mitotic division of the cells in the early embryo. Cleavage is the mitotic division of cells in the early embryo. This is the meaning of the cleavage. So what is the meaning of the cleavage? Actually the cleavage is the mitotic division. Okay, this is one type of the mitotic division which is present in the early embryo stage. Like that, look at this picture. Suppose this is the one number of cell, then this after the mitotic division this one number of cell transform to the two number of cell 1 2. After the mitotic division then it transform to the 4 number of cell 1 2 3 4. Okay, then it's 8 number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and that below portion is the 8. Then 8 16 32 64, all these things are present, all these things are takes place through the mitotic division, because already we know that through the mitotic division the cell number become increase, the cell number become double. So one number of cell, then the 2, then 4 8 16 32 64, because 32 into 2 equals to 64, 16 into 2 equals to 32. So this is the way through which the cleavage process takes place in the female body, and through this process the embryo become developed. Through this process the embryo become developed. Now tell me, is any problem is there, Sima? Or where are the rest of the students? Where are the rest of the students? Spandon, Swabnonil, Unmisha, where are they? I know all of you are very good student in biology. All of you know that all these things very well. Okay, Sana, where is Sana? Okay, do whatever you want. But during exam I am not helping you anymore, all of you. Remember one thing. Very good. So the cleavage means the, I think I made it clear, the cleavage. Okay, but if you have any doubts then you can ask me. If you have any doubts you can ask me, Sima. This concept is clear. The cleavage concept is clear, because through the cleavage the embryo become developed. Through the cleavage the embryo become developed. So what is the meaning? What's problem you have? Just tell me now, what's problem you have? This is your doubt clearing class. I am here to help you to clear your concept. Tell me, what's problem? In which point you have problem? Just tell me. Tell me, Sima. Okay, I am repeating again. Okay, actually the cleavage means it is the one type of the mitotic division of cells in the early embryo. Okay, I am telling you. Cleavage actually the mitotic division. Okay, so cleavage is one type of the mitotic division through which the cell number become increased. The cleavage is one type of the mitotic division through which the cell number become increased. This is the basic things of the cleavage. But why it's necessary? But actually what is the main importance of the cleavage? If the cell number is not increased, then what will be the main problem? Actually if the cell number become not increased, if the cell number is not increased, then the growth and development of embryo become stopped. Okay, because through the cell number increasing the embryo growth and development takes place. But if the cleavage does not takes place in a female body, if the mitotic division becomes stopped in a female body, then the growth and development of the embryo become stopped. So that's why this cleavage plays a great role for the growth and development of the embryo. Okay, so what happened during this cleavage? Actually the cleavage is one type of the mitotic division. Already we know that the mitotic division means the increasing the cell number. Already we know that the mitotic division means the increasing the cell number, and the meiotic division means the chromosome number become half. So this is the basic difference between the mitosis and meiosis. So during the mitotic division the cell number become increased. Suppose the cell starts from the 1 number. Okay, suppose in this round circle area only one cell is present. Okay, then after the mitotic division, then one number of cell transform into the 2 cells. Then after the mitotic division, then it transforms into the 4 number of cells. What does it mean 4 cells? It means the 1 cell, 2 cell, 2 into 2 equals to 4 cell, 4 into 2 equals to 8 cell. In this way the cell number become increased. In this way the cell number become increased, and the embryo become, the growth and development of the embryo takes place in our body. I think I made it clear. If you have any doubts then you can ask me. Till now if you any doubts then ask me. I think I made it clear. Okay. Okay, next is the next is the cleavage. Okay, so what is the meaning of the cleavage? This is the broad aspects of the meaning of this cleavage. So zygote from the isthmus to uterus, the journey of the zygote to the oviduct. If you forgot this term, then don't write. Okay, just write the oviduct. It's okay, but don't write the wrong information. Zygote from the oviduct to uterus, the mitotic division, the first cleavage in first 36 hours. What does it mean? It means after the 36 hours of fertilization, this cleavage process becomes start. After the 36 hours of fertilization, this cleavage process becomes start, and then this 2, 4, 8, 16 number daughter cells transform into the blastomere. This blastomere contains 16 number of daughter cell. Then embryo with the 8 to 16 blastomeres called the morula. Okay, then morula then divides continuously and form a hollow ball like structure called the blastocyst. So there is a term, the morula. There is also a term blastula, then a gastrula. I think already all of you know all this term in your class 10 syllabus. Already all of you learned all these things in your class 10. The chapter was the how organism reproduce. Okay, so this is familiar term for all of you, but I am repeating again. So the embryo, when this embryo contains, the 8 to 16 cells, then this embryo is called the morula stage. M-O-R-U-L-A, morula stage. Okay. Then when after the mitotic division, this morula transform into a hollow ball like structure, then this structure is called the blastocyst. Then this structure is called the blastocyst. Morula is a stage when the embryo contains 8 to 16 number of cells. Morula is a stage. Actually morula is the name of the stage. Actually morula is the name of the stage. So morula is a stage when the embryo contains 8 to 16 number of cells. That stage is called the morula, and then after the further mitotic division, when the morula transform into the hollow ball like structure, this is called the blastocyst. Okay, then the blastomeres in the blastocyst, the blastomere in the blastocyst arranged into two layers, an outer layer called the trophoblast and the inner cell mass is called the inner cell mass. Okay, then this trophoblast cell attaches to the endometrium. This endometrium present in the uterus region, and through this endometrium the newborn baby become developed. Through this endometrium the newborn baby become developed. So endometrium is the inner lining of the uterus where the implantation takes place. So the trophoblast cell attaches to the endometrium and it helps in implantation and development of placenta. It helps in the implantation and development of the placenta. So placenta is a flower like structure. It is present in the uterus. From this placenta, through this placenta, embryo got nutrition. Through this placenta, embryo got nutrition, and through this placenta the gaseous exchange takes place, and through this placenta the embryo becomes the newborn baby connected to the mother's womb. The mother's body and the embryo body connected through this placenta. Okay, and this inner cell mass gets differentiated into the embryo, because what is the meaning of the inner cell mass? When the blastomere into the blastocyst differentiate into the two layer. The outer layer called the trophoblast layer. This trophoblast attaches to the endometrium. Okay, and the inner wall, the inner wall of the blastomere, the inner cells of the blastomere is called the inner cell mass. When the trophoblast layer attached to the endometrium layer, endometrium present in the uterus. Seema, you have written where does morula takes place? This morula takes place in the fallopian tube. Okay, this morula, actually the morula, nothing else, morula is the name of the stage when the embryo contains 8 to 16 number of cells. After the mitotic division, when the embryo cell number become increased. Okay, and after the increasing the cell, when the embryo gets 8 to 16 cells, then this stage is called the morula. Then this stage is called the morula. Okay, morula actually the stage of the embryo. Morula is the stage of the primary stage of the embryo. Okay, then the inner cell mass gets differentiated into the embryo, and the complete attachment of blastocyst to the uterine endometrium is called the implantation. After the implantation, then from there the newborn baby, the growth of the newborn baby, the journey of the growth of newborn baby can start. Okay, after the implantation, because before implantation it does not happen, but after implantation the journey begins. So this is the detailing of the morula. Okay, this is the detailing of the morula. Look at this picture first. First is the zygote. First is the zygote. This zygote means the fertilized egg. When the egg become fertilized by the sperm cell, then it forms a zygote. Second is the early cleavage. Early cleavage means the when the cleavage process just start, and it contains the 4 cell. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the morula. This morula contains 8 to 16 number of cell. Look, 8 to 16 number of cell. Next is the early blastocyst and blastocyst cavity. Okay, and next is the late blastocyst. Look, this blastocyst, there are the 2 layer. One is the trophoblast, and second one is the inner cell mass. This trophoblast is the outer layering or outer covering, and the inner cell mass is the inner cell of the inner lining of the blastocyst. This trophoblast gets enter or gets attached to the endometrium layer. This trophoblast, this outer covering, this outer layering is attached to the uterus, and then this inner cell mass transformed to the embryo. Okay, this is the basic thing, this is the basic funda of the cleavage system. Okay. Okay, morula. About 96 hours after fertilization, then morula, this cleavage process takes place after the fertilization of 36 hours. After the 36 hours of fertilization, the cleavage process just start, but this morula stage is formed about 96 hours after fertilization. So after 96 hours of fertilization, this morula stage takes place, or morula stage is formed by the mitotic division. This morula contains 8 to 16 number of cells. So this picture shows a morula, a solid ball of 32 cells that resemble a raspberry. Actually this is a fruit like structure, the berry. Okay, look at this morula. Okay, this is the structure of the morula. Next is the blastula. What happened during the blastula? 5 days after fertilization, this blastula stage is present. This blastula stage is formed after 5 days of fertilization. Okay, after 5 days of fertilization, what happened during this blastula? Actually the blastula is a ball like structure, more than 64 cells. Actually the blastula is a ball like structure, more than 64 cells surrounding a fluid filled cavity. Surrounding the fluid filled cavity, that's called the blastula. Look at this structure. This is the blastula. This is the blastula, and this is a fluid filled cavity. This is the fluid filled cavity, that's called the blastocele. That's called the blastocele. The fluid filled, this vacant area, this empty space, this cavity area is called the blastocele. So the blastula is produced by the repeated mitotic division of a zygote. Okay, so already I have said it again and again, and I am telling this repeatedly. Through the mitotic division, through all the mitotic division, all this stage formed. By the mitotic division, all this stage become formed and takes place in a female's body. Okay, because without mitotic division the cell number does not increase, and the embryo development and growth becomes stunted, becomes stopped. So this cleavage process and this mitotic division plays a great role for the growth and development of the embryo. So the blastula, what is the meaning of the blastula? Actually blastula is the stage of the embryo. When the embryo gets 64 cells, when the embryo contains 64 cells after the mitotic division, this stage is called the blastula, and this blastula contains the fluid filled cavity, that's called the blastocyst, and actually this blastula is produced by the repeated mitotic division of a zygote. Okay. Next is the blastocyst. Next one is the blastocyst. So what is the meaning of the blastocyst? Actually the fastening of the embryo to the wall of the uterus is called the implantation. Okay. So the attachment of the embryo to the wall of the uterus is called the implantation. The wall of the uterus means the endometrium layer. Actually the uterus contains three types of layer: endometrium, myometrium and perimetrium. Already we have discussed all these things in the female reproductive system. Okay, so the uterus contains there are three layers: endometrium, myometrium and perimetrium. The endometrium is the innermost lining of the uterus where the implantation process takes place. Okay, and the implantation occurs 7 days after fertilization. When the fertilization process passes 7 days, then the implantation process takes place, and implantation takes place in the uterus. And I am telling you repeatedly, all of you, this is very important for your exam, because this is a 5 marks question, that how embryo become developed in the uterus, how embryo become developed in the uterus, and then you have to write all these things. Then you have to write all these things. That's why I am telling you repeatedly, this is very important chapter and this is very important question, and this question contains 5 marks. Okay, this question carries 5 marks. So that's why I am telling you repeatedly, this is very important, and just go through all this slide, go through all this study material properly, and just note it down. And if you are not note it down, then just take one screenshot of each and every slide. Okay, and the last but not the least is the embryo. Actually the embryo is the developmental stage from the start of the cleavage until the 9th week. Until the 9th week, this embryo is the developmental stage from the start of the cleavage until the 9th week. So the embryo first undergoes division without growth, then the embryo enters the uterus at the 16 cell stage. When this contains the 16 cell stage, then the embryo enters the uterus, and then embryo floats free in the uterus temporarily. Okay, and then from there they got the nourishment, they got the nutrition. And the last is the differentiation of the gastrulation process. So there is another stage. The stage is called the gastrula. So there are actually 3 types of stage: morula, blastula and gastrula. All this stage of this takes place in the uterus region. Okay, and all these things are the stage of a embryo, the development of a embryo. All these stage are the growth and developmental stage of a embryo. So after the morula and blastula, the gastrula is present. The gastrulation involves a series of cell migration to positions where they will form the 3 primary cell layers. Actually through the gastrulation, through the gastrula layer, in the gastrula layer, this embryo got 3 types of layer, in the embryo region. These 3 types of layer, the body layer become formed. First is the ectoderm, second one is the endoderm, and third one is the mesoderm. So through the ectoderm, from the ectoderm, this is the outermost layer. Already we all know that this ecto means the outer and derm is the layer. So the ectoderm is the outer layer, and from the ectoderm layer, the skin, hair, sweat glands, epithelium, brain and nervous system become formed. From this ectoderm layer, the skin, hair, sweat glands, epithelium, brain and nervous system become formed in our body. In the human body, all these things, all these organs, all these systems, all these skin, hair, all these things are derived from the ectoderm layer. And second one is the endoderm. Then endoderm is the innermost lining. This endoderm is the inner layer, and from the endoderm, all the internal organs in our body, like digestive system, respiratory system, liver, pancreas, gallbladder, thyroid, parathyroid glands, all these internal organs formed from the endoderm layer. And is the middle layer, and from the mesoderm, this cartilage, bone, blood, reproductive system, organ and kidneys formed. So this is the basic things of the gastrulation. Actually gastrulation is the stage where 3 types of layer formed in a human embryo, and from this layer further all these organs will develop. Okay, so this is very important stage of the embryo growth and development. So now tell me, if you have any doubts you can ask me. If you have any doubts you can ask me. And I am telling you repeatedly, this chapter, all this topic is very important, because all these things carries the 3 to 5 marks question. Okay, so what I am saying, just listen to me very carefully and go through all these things. I think all of you have no doubts. Okay, in the next class, in the tomorrow's class, I will finish this chapter and then I will give some worksheet. Okay, till then. Okay, Seema, what you have written? The body parts, our body. Yes, how our body parts develop in this way, na? Our body, all the body parts develop from these 3 layers, like the nervous system and brain are developed from the ectoderm layer. This liver, pancreas, all these internal organs develop from the endoderm layer, and the mesoderm, from the mesoderm layer, these muscles, cartilage, bone, blood, all these things are developed. So in this way our whole body's organ system become developed. Okay, but in the next class we will discuss details, the how body parts developed and in which time, in which week each and every body parts become developed in the embryo stage. Okay, till then, goodbye. Thank you.